Trump's pledge to stop military exercises provokes alarm in Seoul and Washington. President Donald Trump's announcement that the U.S. will stop military exercises with South Korea startled Tokyo and Seoul, unsettled U.S. lawmakers, and took at least some parts of the Pentagon by surprise. The declaration, one that goes to the heart of the security of U.S. allies and the United States' western defense perimeter, raised concerns that Trump had made a significant concession at his summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un without getting anything solid in return, particularly as he raised the prospect of pulling troops out of South Korea altogether. "It's really breathtaking," said Michael J. Green, Senior Vice President for Asia and Japan, Chair at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, when the President of the United States announces unilaterally to the leader of North Korea that we are going to stop our military exercises with our allies, Japan and Korea, and does not first tell those allies, and then goes on to say that someday he'd like to get our troops out of Asia. Green said, "That's an astonishing development. It's inappropriate." Many praised Trump for pursuing dialogue over confrontation, but Trump's move on military exercises reinforced concerns about his commitment to long-standing U.S. alliances, particularly because he was offering a goal long sought by both Pyongyang and Beijing without consulting South Korea or Japan. Others said that in giving away a significant chip so early in the game, Trump was undermining his negotiators' leverage. And while North Korea has made a show of scaling back some of its nuclear activities, Pyongyang continues its disruptive behavior in the cyber realm and remains one of the world's most egregious human rights violators, starving its own people. Trump made the announcement in the course of a press conference in Singapore. "It's inappropriate to be having games," he said, calling them provocative, an adjective North Korea might use, and adding that it really is something that I think they very much appreciate. "We have right now 32,000 soldiers in South Korea, and I'd like to be able to bring them back home," Trump said, adding that such a move isn't part of the equation right now. Former Vice President Joe Biden echoed much of the criticism when he issued a statement saying that the Trump administration has given the North Korean regime many sought-after wins up front without getting anything in return. Biden listed the legitimacy of a meeting with the American president, the easing of the international sanctions pressure, and the suspension of our military readiness exercises, saying the move has reduced our leverage and signaled a weakening of our alliance in return for vague promises to begin nuclear negotiations. Green, the Asia expert at CSIS, said it was possible that the Pentagon could amend the president's statement and say what the president meant was, "We're not going to have heavy bombers in our exercises," or "We're not going to escalate them because we're under a diplomatic process right now." But we've not had a president talk about pulling the troops home in over half a century. A former State Department official characterized the announcement as a step that can be easily reversed. "It's not a positive sign, but it's also not a fatal flaw," said Thomas Countryman, a former Assistant Secretary of State for International Security and Non-Proliferation, who added that he was concerned about the lack of coordination with South Korea. "The entire process can only succeed if the United States and South Korea stay in the closest possible consultation," Countryman said during a call organized by the Arms Control Association. South Korea's Ministry of Defense put out a statement after Trump's press conference saying it needed to figure out President Trump's accurate meaning and intention. There was also some question as to whether the U.S. military was completely of Trump's decision. Several lawmakers, including Senator Bob Corker, the Tennessee Republican who chairs the Foreign Relations Committee, said military leaders were in the dark when U.S. defense official told CNN that they had received no updated guidance on execution or cessation of training exercises, including the next big one in late August, called Ulchi Freedom Guardian, and would continue their current coordination and work with South Korea until told otherwise. But Pentagon spokeswoman Dana White said Secretary of Defense James Mattis was not surprised. He was consulted. She noted that conversations have been robust, and while she didn't say that Mattis supported the president's decision on exercises, she said that Mattis is in full alignment with the president to meet his goal, which is denuclearization of the